Hey there, welcome back to the Healthy Church Staff Podcast, or if it's your first time, welcome. Hope you had, if you're listening to this on the day it was recorded, hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. And today we're going to talk about a topic that's both a blessing and it's always a challenge, I think, for many churches, and that's generosity. And generosity really is at the heart of the Christian faith. We're called to give freely, we're called to generously give, we're called to give sacrificially, and not just with our finances, also with our time and our talents and our resources. But the reality is many churches struggle with this whole topic of generosity. It's often sporadic, it's inconsistent, it's far below its potential. And this generosity gap can really have serious consequences. It can hinder ministries, it can limit outreach, and it can at times create financial strain. So what's behind this generosity gap? And more importantly, how do we bridge it? 4 things I think that kind of factor in here. First is just a lack of biblical understanding. Many Christians simply haven't been taught about the biblical principles of giving, and they don't understand the importance of tithing and the joy of generosity or the spiritual benefits of giving. So it could just be that they lack some really good biblical teaching on this topic. Could be a fear of security and scarcity, a scarcity mindset. Our culture values accumulation and consumption, and it's easy to fall into a mindset of fear and scarcity. We worry about not having enough, so we hold on to everything that we have, and we hold on to our resources instead of sharing them. So it could be just a fear and scarcity mindset. It could be a lack of trust. People don't trust their church leaders or feel like their donations are being wisely spent. They're less likely to give generously. Or it could be an area of misplaced priorities. Sometimes we just simply prioritize other things over giving, and we spend our money on other things, possessions, entertainment, experiences, while neglecting the needs of the church and the community. How can we cultivate this culture of generosity in our churches? And I realize this is a 30,000-foot view. There are people that speak much better. I know a few that are just awesome in this area of generosity in the church, that if you reach out to me, I can connect you with them as well. But just at a 30,000-foot level, how do you cultivate a culture of generosity? And it goes back to what we were just talking about. First of all, if you're not teaching biblical principles, you can't hardly blame people if they don't know what the Bible says about giving. Preaching clearly about tithing and generosity and the blessings that come from giving, that could be step 1. Number 2 is, I think in today's culture, we have to continually challenge that fear and scarcity mindset. You have to remind people that God is our provider, and we can trust Him to meet our needs. That is just really an abstract thing in our culture today. We can trust God to meet our needs and encourage a mindset of abundance and generosity. Third is just to build trust and transparency. Be open and honest about your church's finances. Share your budget. Explain how donations are used. Demonstrate financial accountability. That frees people up to feel good about giving. Number 4 is cast a compelling vision. Help people see the impact that their giving has in your church, in your community. Share life change stories. Is your church making a difference in the lives of people? Share those stories. We could not have done this without the support of you. Share how your community is being impacted by donations. And share how the kingdom is advancing because of generosity in your church. And then number 5, just from a very pragmatic standpoint, make giving easy and convenient. Offer multiple ways to give. And I think most churches are doing this now, but if you're not, this is huge. Make sure you include giving online, text to give, automatic recurring donations via apps are wonderful as well. So make it easy and convenient, because generosity, we're talking money here, but it's not just about money. It's really about heart issues. It's about attitude. It's about a willingness to share what God has given to us with others. And really, by you being able to cultivate a culture of generosity in your church, you can unlock really a powerful force for fueling ministries and transforming lives. Ministry does cost money. And this is one way, by having a very generous congregation, that you're able to do that. If you're struggling with generosity in your church or just want to learn more about how to cultivate a culture of giving in your church, reach out to me. I've got some people that I can network you with that specialize in helping church leaders and churches impact the generosity of their congregations. Reach out to me, podcast@chemistrystaffing.com. I'm happy to pass those resources and those people on to you that you can have a conversation with. And I'm here to help however I can. Thanks so much for listening. We will be back tomorrow right here on the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. Hey, if you haven't already subscribed, please do that today so that I will be the annoying little pop-up you get every weekday saying, hey, come listen to the next edition of the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. Thanks so much for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.